It's day 8 of my trip to South America. I'm in a place called Parque de Iguazu, which is located in the municipality of Porto de Iguazu, which is in the northeast part of Argentina, near the Brazilian border. Why am I here, you might ask? Well, it's because there's a natural wonder here called Iguazu Falls, which are the largest waterfalls in the world if you measure them in terms of the volume of water that actually goes over the cliff. So I've actually have already walked around the park. There are 4 main trails that are here. 2 of them are closed, one of which was the Devil's Neck. This is actually the trail that gets you closest to the falls. So that was kind of a bummer, but the other 2 that were open were good enough to get me close and for me to have that experience, and for me to feel fulfilled that I've actually got to see the falls. It's a once in a lifetime kind of thing, and I'm super glad that I came here to see them, even though that one trail is closed. Right now I'm in like the snack area. I'm having like a empanada. Yeah, and then tomorrow I will fly to Buenos Aires and spend a couple more days in Argentina. So today's footage is going to be from around the park here and all of the natural beauty contained within the park. So I hope you enjoy the footage. It's really amazing. Again, once in a lifetime kind of experience. Yeah. Hey, good morning. It's day 11 of my trip to South America, and I'm in a place called Aeroparque Newbury, which is the smaller airport, I guess, in Buenos Aires. And I think it's the one that serves the flights for the national carrier airlines Argentinas, which I just took from Puerto Iguazu to Buenos Aires. I'm in the food court. I wanted to grab some breakfast before I head to my hotel. Let's see, Starbucks. I've got Alden. I've gotten Alden a couple times already in South America. Yeah, so I'm trying to grab some breakfast because I'm a little bit early for check-in. I'm hoping that the hotel will let me check in and give me a room so I can just hit the ground running and start exploring Buenos Aires. I don't have a plan really, except to go to Cementerio Recoleta, which is the cemetery where Vito is buried. So other than seeing that tomb or that mausoleum, I don't really have a plan, just go out and explore. I'm more than halfway through my trip to South America. It's a blast so far, and I'm really happy that you guys are watching this video. I feel like you guys are with me. So thanks for that, and let's go. It's day 11 of my trip around South America, and I am in Buenos Aires, Argentina. It's my second full day here. I'm in a place called Plaza San Martin. San Martin is a general who liberated Argentina from colonial rule. I think that's him right there. So my plan for today is to do a lot of exploration. I have to do a lot because today's New Year's Eve, tomorrow's going to be New Year. I am anticipating that nothing is going to be open tomorrow, so I have to pack it all in today because the day after tomorrow, I will be flying to Asuncion, Paraguay. So I only have really one day to pack it all in. I did some stuff yesterday, but today is going to be where I do the majority of my sightseeing. So plan is I'm in a neighborhood called Retiro, which is where my hotel is. It's sort of here. And if I go south through Microcentro, which is a business center, towards San Telmo, which is one of the oldest parts of the city, I'm going to start my exploration there and see the Bombonera, which is a stadium where one of the most popular football clubs in Argentina plays, a club called Boca Juniors. Then head back north to see the National History Museum in northern San Telmo, back all the way up to Retiro, and going to another neighborhood, past Recoleta, I think, to a place called Malbo, which is the Museum of Latin American Art in Buenos Aires. I heard it's spectacular. So what am I going to do New Year's Eve? I have no idea. I read online that there are going to be some fireworks back down south towards San Telmo at a place called Puerto Maduro. So I'm hoping to see that. I'm actually praying that I'm going to be awake to see the fireworks, but if I am, I'm going to walk back south and try to see those. I'm very excited to be spending New Year in another country again. Yeah, so that's it. I can't believe my vacation is more than halfway through. Kind of sad that it's coming to a speedy end, but that's what the nature of vacation is, right? It begins and it ends. So it has to come to an end sometime. I'm going to enjoy every second of it, and I hope you are enjoying it too. Thanks for coming with me, and let's go. Good morning. Happy New Year. It's January 1, 2023, and I am in Buenos Aires, Argentina. As you say here, Felice Año Nuevo. So, I have to say, yesterday was a complete fail for me. It happens. So, in my video from yesterday, I detailed a very aggressive agenda that I wanted to keep. Just put everything in yesterday because I anticipated that everything today would be closed. So, I started early at 9 o'clock, made my way down south to the Bombonera, which is a stadium where Boca Juniors plays, and I just got sidelined. There were a lot of things that I saw that were interesting that I started taking photos of, and so I really planned on being at the Bombonera at 10 a.m. Got there around 11:15, 11:30, just did it, saw the museum there, turned around, backtracked to track my way back north to start seeing the museums that I wanted to see, but then I started passing state-run museums that were closed. So after the first, second, third one that I noticed were closed, I just called it quits and just decided to go with the flow and do whatever there was to be done on my way back to the hotel, which turned out not to be a lot. Around 2 or 3 o'clock, everything completely shut down, restaurants, shops, so just returned back to the hotel. Around midnight, New Year's Eve, I came here. This is the Obelisco. It's a very noticeable monument in central Buenos Aires. The news said that there were going to be fireworks here. They were very minimal, I would say, but the energy of the people who were gathered around was super happy, and everyone was excited that it was a new year. So I definitely was happy they came out here and experienced what it was like to turn a new year in warm Buenos Aires. So today, my plan is to just walk around, get my steps in. Yesterday when I was walking around, I sort of mentally cataloged things that I could photo today, and just put it on hold because I knew that there was not going to be a lot to do today because, as I anticipated, everything is closed. So I'll walk around, get my steps in, get the photos in that I wanted to take, and that's it. Tomorrow's travel day. I'll be flying from Buenos Aires to Asunción, which is the capital of Paraguay. Don't really know what's in store for me there, but I'm super excited. Never been there. We'll find out, I guess. Yeah. So I hope you're enjoying the footage. Happy New Year, and let's go. So I do have to say that part of the reason why I came to Argentina was that I came here 17 years ago and I wanted a little bit of redemption. I came with an ex and we ended up fighting a lot. It was actually around here that we had the worst fight. It was probably a couple blocks that way. I remember screaming at each other with the Congress building in the background, and then taking photos of the Congress building. This is 2005, so this is my very first digital camera that I was using. And then going this way through a crowd of kids. My ex at the time told me to not just put my camera in the side pocket of my backpack, but to secure it here or to zip it up. We had just fought, so I didn't want to listen, and sure enough, it got stolen when we walked through the crowd of kids. So I do have to say this time I've gotten into 0 fights and traveling along, and I've had nothing stolen. So I'm very glad I came and got to experience Argentina and remake those terrible memories and make new good ones.
Hey, it's my 14th day in my trip to South America, and I am in Asunción, Paraguay. I arrived yesterday, took an Uber from the airport to the hotel, checked in, dropped my stuff, went to the grocery store, bought some drinks and water, explained why I did this in part one of my video in Chile. And then I went to the mall across the street. I went to the mall because I am running out of clothing. So those of you that know me and the way I travel, I like to bring stuff that I no longer want, and as I progress through my trip, I get rid of them. The trade-off is that it lightens my bag so that I can bring stuff back to the United States and stay within the weight limit that I'm allowed for checked baggage. The problem now is that I've traveled so much in the past 2 years that I no longer have stuff that I want to get rid of. I am packing stuff that I want to keep. So my thought this trip was that I would only bring 60% of what I needed, and that somewhere along the way I would do laundry. But the challenge there is that I'm staying in every location 3 to 5 days, and so when I thought about doing the laundry, I was like, well, am I going to get back in time? Am I going to give it to them? And when I need to leave, they are going to have it ready, and I'm stuck with less clothes, not even dirty clothes anymore. It was just gone. So I remedied that by buying some clothes yesterday, 2 or 3 shirts. This is one of them. Yeah, and so I'm good there. So today, my thought was that I would go to the historical center of Asuncion, and so I headed out at 9 o'clock, and it was raining. So I began walking. I got an umbrella for the hotel. And the issue here is that Asuncion is not pedestrian. I don't think it's pedestrian friendly. I decided on a boulevard that would take me like directly from my hotel to the historical center without me having to take a bunch of streets and making a bunch of turns. The problem is that between the sidewalk here and the sidewalk here, there were 6 lanes of traffic going both ways, and the traffic was going fast, like 50 to 60 miles per hour. Combined with the rain, there were all these puddles. So around 9:30, I'm walking and I make a turn along this boulevard because it sort of gradually turns around, and all of a sudden a bus zooms by like at 50 miles per hour and sends this huge tsunami of brown street water careening and soaking me, and I was furious. But then I was like, what am I gonna do? I certainly am not gonna run after the bus to scream at the bus driver who speaks Spanish like the way Paraguayans speak Spanish, which is at light speed. Like I cannot understand anything at all that anyone says here because they speak it so fast and they glide over and drop letters. I have like no idea. I feel like I am like Spanish 101, like ¿Dónde están los baños? Like I'm speaking that and like da, 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 da. Okay, so that's the situation. In general, I don't think Asuncion is built for tourism. So, for example, I was walking, as I walked towards the city center, I saw like a sign that says Cultural Stop National Archives of Paraguay. I was like, great, this might be something for me to see. Because in Washington, D.C., the U.S. National Archives, you could go in and there's a copy of the Constitution, and it's all patriotic or whatever. So I go in and ask about it, and they're like, no, not at all. It's not for tourists. It's for scholars who want to study the archives. And I was like, why put out a sign? And it says this is a cultural sort of stop. And it's more of the same, I think. And like things are closed. Like they have this thing called the Pantheon of Heroes. It was a stop, and it was not open. I'm doing this thing called the Etc. or something in Paraguay. I'll put a thing here, like it's 28. It's someone, I guess, put a historical sort of walk around Old Town Asuncion, and there are 28 stops, points of interest. And I've already done 5 of them, and really they are like okay. So after being soaked and then discovering like the state of things here, I'm like really like not into like taking video and whatever, especially since I have to like reach my hand into my soaking wet bag to pull all this stuff out. So that's where I'm at, and that's if I get any video, it'll be because it was notable enough for me to want to do all these things that I hate, which is being wet and doing things in the rain, and taking video of this stuff so that you can see it. So yeah, that's it. I'm in a cafe right now, which is actually really good in central Asuncion, enjoying a nice cold brew. Oh yeah, so I hope I get some video that you can enjoy, and if I do, here it is.
is day 15 of my trip to South America. I am in Asuncion, Paraguay. I'm in the lobby of my hotel. There is a Juan Valdez cafe. Juan Valdez is kind of like the Starbucks of South America. They're everywhere, and I actually really like it. It's really nice in here. The coffee's really good too. I got a frappe, I guess. They don't really do a nice coffee here. And then they gave me all kinds of strange looks when I said I wanted it sin azúcar, which is without sugar. So we'll see if they were able to do that. So believe it or not, TripAdvisor says that the best thing to do in Asuncion is go to a shopping mall, which is called El Paseo Galleria. So that's where I'm headed. And then the number 2 thing is a museum that's down the street from there. But it doesn't open until 2. So my plan for today is to go to the shopping mall for a couple hours until the museum opens to go see the museum and come back. And that'll be my day. Tomorrow's a travel day. I'm going back to Lima to rest for like a day or 2. And then take the big flight back to North America, back to Chicago. So trip is very rapidly coming to an end. I've had a blast so far, and that's it. Enjoy the footage. Hey everyone, it's my second to the last day on my trip to South America, and I've returned to Lima, Peru. I've returned to the Iberostar Selection Miraflores, and I flew from Asuncion to Lima this morning. Overnight, Aaron sent me a text message, funny text message I thought. It said, "Are you still traveling?" ? Exclamation point. And I think this sentiment, this like astonishment that I'm still on this trip, sort of encapsulate how I feel about it. It's, you know, a once in a lifetime kind of thing. It's lengthy, definitely. And I definitely have along the way wondered, like, what day is it? What is the date? Is it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday? And that sort of thing. And the only thing that's sort of keeping me aligned chronologically is the fact that I had to take so many flights in this trip. And I think talking about the number of flights is a good segue into how I'm going to end this video. And I think how I'm going to end it is to just go over the sheer volume of things that I had to do in order to spend approximately 3 weeks in South America. So at the conclusion of this trip, I would have taken 10 flights, gotten 8 passport stamps. I didn't get any in Argentina, I don't know why. From 4 countries, I visited 5 different cities. I flew 17,956 kilometers. I've walked up to this point 123.55 kilometers. And I've made this face an infinite amount of times because that's how I looked when someone spoke Spanish to me and I did not understand what they were saying. So that's it. End of the trip. Thank you for joining me. Ciao.